when a family of 4 join their closest friend to go fishing on the Zambezi River. The outing quickly turns into a desperate fight for survival. Thrown into crocodile-infested waters, 4 of them become human live bait, while one fights for his life amongst some of Africa's deadliest predators.
Oh my God.
At any moment, one of us would be taken by a crocodile.
I thought it was over, I really did.
Zambia, one of the wildest countries in Africa, home to the spectacular Victoria Falls. They are fed by the mighty Zambezi River, which divides Zambia from Zimbabwe. It's here on one of the river's most isolated stretches that 2 friends have planned a weekend fishing trip. Arthur Taylor and Alistair Gallatley have known each other for over 25 years.
Our kids have grown up together with Alistair. Basically, Alistair's part of the family. He's a very good guy in a crisis and a very good friend.
We've known each other a while, We've spent a lot of time together. We go fishing a lot.
Where do you want the fish bait? Usual place.
As experienced safari guides, they've lived and worked alongside the Zambezi for most of their lives.
Most important. Good enough. Think so? I can't wait to get on the water.
Joining them are Arthur's English wife, Faye, and her parents, Clive and Brenda. They're retired teachers visiting from England.
Change your mind yet?
No, I think I'll just stay here and relax and read my book. All right.
They've both lived in Africa on and off over the years. This is the last chance for all of them to go out on the river together. Tomorrow, Faye and Arthur have to pick up their 2 children from boarding school. But even though she spent a lot of time in the bush, Brenda isn't keen on the idea of going fishing.
My mum was anxious because she doesn't really like going on the boat. And she would rather have just spent the day in camp.
I'm not going to go if you don't go.
If she doesn't come, the crocs will be safe.
My mum is a pretty strong personality, and you certainly don't mess her around.
You'll have to give me a hand in here.
Because it was the last day of the holiday, she finally agreed to come with us.
Okay, all aboard.
This is one of the river's most remote stretches.
The Zambezi is just a fantastic river. It's amazing, and it is so diverse. The bird life is out of this world. You see animals, bushbuck, buffalo, elephant coming down, and in the water there's the hippos everywhere, and huge crocodiles. It's just an amazing river, really is.
It was all very relaxed atmosphere. Very carefree, nobody had a worry in the world.
You want to try catch some fish, Brenda?
Oh, no, I'm not good at that.
Come on.
Come on, it's easy.
We passed so many schools of hippos, and they're all lazing around. They just look so peaceful and so placid.
Most of them are in herds or groups, and then you get the few odd single males. As long as you give them a wide berth, the chances are you're not going to have any problem.
What's on here? It's heavy. Whoa.
Fishing had been pretty poor that morning, and when Mum caught a fish, it was like, yay, you know. I mean, she's really chuffed.
Well done, Mum.
I think that calls for a spot of celebratory lunch. Right over there, nice bit of shade by those trees.
Sounds good to me.
What's the time?
There was no warning.
It was just this huge boom, and I was in the water. I think my subconscious was saying, this is it, this is the end. It was only when I actually was pulled back to the surface and gasping for air that suddenly then the reality of what had actually happened hit me.
They've survived the hippo attack, but now they're in even greater peril. They've capsized in one of the most crocodile-infested rivers in the world.
To think about, you know, my bare, dangly legs, it sent a chill through me, thinking that any moment now, one of us would be taken by a crocodile.
Clive Kelly has watched his wife Brenda sucked under the crocodile-infested river. He has no idea if she is alive or dead.
Brenda! Brenda! Where are you?
Although Clive can't hear them, his wife, along with his daughter Faye, her husband Arthur and their best friend Alistair, have all surfaced underneath the boat.
Brenda!
But the group's immediate danger is not crocodiles.
The current was actually so strong in that part of the river that it actually swept us out from underneath the boat.
The Zambezi is famous for its unpredictable and deceptively strong currents. Many people drown in its eddies and whirlpools every year.
The one thing that I thought of was the fact that my children could have been with me and that I would have lost them because they would have been just thrown out of the boat. You know, they would have just been gone.
Brenda had gone swim very well. She was screaming and struggling.
She obviously needed something to hold on to, and she had swallowed a lot of water and was gasping for air and kind of pushed onto me so that she could get her breath back. And I'm like, you know, Mum, you know, you're pushing me down.
Oh, Brenda, I got you. I got you.
It's just so strong, and we were being swept away. It was just incredible that Arthur was there when we needed him. Somehow, he managed to keep hold of the two of us.
We're all getting washed down together. We basically hung on to each other. It was very hard to swim against a strong current.
The boat has become snagged in the middle of the river.
Just relax, Brenda, relax.
Clive and Alistair are able to cling on to it while the current drags the others downstream.
Clive and I, we couldn't do much. We sat on the front of the boat and we watched them.
I had no idea where we were going. All I knew was that we were being swept away.
The current was really, really strong and was just sweeping us down. We were trying to make our way to shallow waters. We knew it was our only hope of survival.
Luckily, the current actually took us towards the middle of the river, which was slightly shallower.
It's a sandbank.
There was a submerged island.
The first thing I did is start vomiting because I swallowed half a Zambezi.
Alistair has seen his friends struggle against the current. He knows Clive would find it virtually impossible to make it to the sandbank.
Clive can hardly swim, so it was difficult because he couldn't say, hey, swim over to the sandbank or do this or do that. We just had to sit down and settle down onto the boat.
Arthur, Faye and Brenda aren't much better off.
When we finally got to where we could stand, it was kind of a relief, but we knew that it was just a temporary relief.
The river is full of crocodiles and very huge crocodiles that would have no fear of man. And I believe most of those crocodiles in that area just look at you as a food source. So definitely there's a big chance you will be eaten.
From his position on the boat, Alistair assesses the situation. The group's chances of being rescued on this remote stretch of the river are slim. He knows that every year hundreds of people die of crocodile attacks on the Zambezi. As the only single man in the group,
Arthur!
he takes a calculated risk.
I'm going to swim to that bank and get help. Don't risk it up. He's crazy.
It was quite fast water. I started swimming slowly, I was a bit scared that splashing around the crocs I'd attract crocodiles. I was probably swept down 300-400 meters. I was pretty tired by then. I saw a little inlet up ahead, so I paddled into the inlet.
Out of sight from the others, Alistair finally reaches the safety of the riverbank.
As my feet touched the ground, I looked up. About 10 yards away, there was this crocodile in the water just looking at me. It was scary. I didn't quite know what to do. I think I actually panicked. I decided the best thing to do is try go for the crocodile and maybe chase it. I went under the water just to try to see where the croc was. As I started to go towards the croc, it came for me. It was going for my legs, and I pushed it away with my left hand. Its teeth cut my left hand up a bit, and it disappeared. It just latched straight onto my arm. It was just trying to really tear my arm off.
Alistair is trapped in a death roll, a spinning maneuver used by crocodiles to drown and dismember their prey.
I was getting pretty weak. I thought it was over, I really did. I couldn't see any way of getting out of it.
His right arm trapped in the crocodile's jaws, Alistair thinks of one last thing that might save him.
I took my left arm and tried to get it inside the crocodile's jaw. They've got a flap in the back of the throat which keeps the water out when they're underwater. I tried to reach that. The second I did that, once I got my other fingers inside the mouth, it let go.
The savage attack has broken Alistair's arm in 3 places. His shoulder joint has been ripped from its socket.
I was pretty scared I was going into shock. I was very weak. I lost a lot of blood.
All he can do to stem the blood loss is to make a tourniquet. Arthur, Faye and Brenda lost sight of Alistair soon after he was swept downriver. They have no idea that he has been attacked by a crocodile.
I distinctly heard him shouting, "Oh my God, oh my God." And we just thought he was exhausted and was just kind of relieved that he'd got to the other side.
I've been nailed by a croc!
Oh, God.
It was just such a terrible feeling. We weren't sure whether he'd lost an arm or a leg or where he'd been bitten.
Where? How bad? How bad are you hurt?
We weren't sure if he was going to make it through even the next hour, let alone the next day.
Alistair! Alistair!
With their best chance of rescue gone, Arthur decides to take matters into his own hands.
Arthur, what the hell are you doing?
I'm going for help.
I walked towards the Zimbabwe side of the river to see if we could swim across there.
He just went deeper and deeper into the water, and I just had these images of him being taken by a crocodile, and I couldn't handle that.
Don't go, don't be stupid!
Alistair's too hurt. He could die.
Well, you're not going to help him if you get yourself eaten, are you?
On the bank, there were several crocodiles laying there, so I wasn't about to jump in over there. And so I decided to return.
He realized that it was impossible. Every 10, 20 meters, there's a crocodile lying on the bank of the river. It's just hopeless. The whole situation was just hopeless.
Although Alistair is clear of the water, he is still vulnerable to attack.
I was worried about the croc coming back again. I wanted out of there as fast as I could. The sun was pretty hot, and there was one tree in this pile of rocks that I went and I sat under to try and sort my arm out.
Alistair's natural painkillers are beginning to wear off. He's feeling the full force of his injuries. The slightest movement is agony. Clive is still stranded in the middle of the river. And now the boat is beginning to sink.
Can't stay there. He left us onto it.
Dad! You're gonna have to swim over to us.
I know.
My dad had no choice but to swim, because if the boat went down in the night, then he would just disappear. He wouldn't have stood a chance.
Brenda!
It was just such an awful experience to watch, and terrifying, not knowing at any moment when he was going to be taken by a crocodile.
Come on!
And Clive also has to struggle against the erratic currents of the Zambezi.
Although he was swimming as much as he could towards us,
That's it, Dad!
he was just going further and further away.
Oh, God.
Come on, Clive!
Yes!
It seemed to take forever.
Great! Keep at it!
I can't tell you what a relief that was, that my dad was alive and had made it.
On shore, only a few hundred yards away, Alistair's agony is intensifying. His wound is becoming a poisonous time bomb.
I had nothing to wash it out with properly. The arm was full of rubbish.
Alistair knows that bacteria from the crocodile's bite will have entered his bloodstream. Untreated, he could easily lose his arm to gangrene.
Gangrene is pretty serious. A friend of mine, he got chewed by a lion. He got to hospital within 8 hours, but he still lost his leg.
Too weak to move. If the gangrene doesn't get Alistair, the predators might. Stranded in the middle of the crocodile-infested Zambezi, the others know they've lost their only chance of rescue. Any hope of being found before sunset is fading fast.
What's in your mind? No one's gonna come by.
The area is so remote that the chances, I would say, are very, very slim. You're very lucky if help does come your way out there.
Can't possibly survive in the river.
What you two are spring about?
Arthur wants to swim for it.
No way, we've been through this already.
We've got to do something.
There are too many crocs.
Yeah, we can't just sit here.
Arthur, wait.
Arthur thought that he may try and swim towards the Zambian side, so he could see how badly Alistair was injured. But I knew that I couldn't bear him to go, that I would not be able to make it without him.
Please.
Maybe we could all swim together. There'd be a big mass then, and that might scare anything off.
Mum? Mum, do you think you can?
I'll try.
But I found it very, very hard to get back into the water. We were all so out of our element. I just freaked.
No, it's no use like that.
I just started to panic and said, I can't do it. I just cannot go through with this. I can't go across.
Sorry. Current.
Definitely, you get a sense of, well, frustration out of the fact that there's nothing you can really do besides stand there and wait for help.
They all face the prospect of a terrifying night with no hope of rescue.
It's a terrible feeling knowing that somebody is lying, bleeding to death, and that you are unable to do anything about it. I can't tell you how terrible that makes you feel.
Alistair! Alistair!
We shouted across at him until the sun started going down. And then the hyenas started calling.
When the sun went down, we all decided not to call to Alistair. If he had called back to us, it would have just alerted any predator within range that Alistair was there.
Night is the most dangerous time in the African bush. Leopards, lions, and hyenas can detect the scent of blood from several miles away.
I could hear the lions calling and the hyenas, but when they stop, you don't know where they are, because you don't know if they come in your direction or going away. I thought I could be in for a tough night. I just got these stones together so that if something did come up that night, I could at least throw a rock at it.
When it got really dark, the wind picked up and it really got cold. I was absolutely freezing and my teeth were chattering and I just couldn't get warm.
It was extremely cold. Definitely, you are in extreme danger by standing in the river, because there is a very good chance that a crocodile will come and get you during the night.
Let's get in a ring.
We decided that we'll all huddle together.
We're rolling already. Try and keep a lookout on all sides.
The more sets of eyes you got looking all around you, the more chance you have of seeing a crocodile coming from behind or from the left or from the front. So we're all looking in different directions, just in case the crocodile came from another side.
We were straining to see into the water. And all the time you're thinking about crocodiles. Those huge snapping jaws, gaping mouths. It was just a terrifying thought.
What's that?
coming closer. It's still coming.
Bloody cross.
In the tiny bit of light that there was, the vegetation that was coming down, branches, clumps of reeds, all of them looked like a potential crocodile.
We were all very vulnerable. Yet the worst thing was not knowing what had happened to Alistair or if he was going to make it till the morning. The hyenas started coming closer. The lions moved closer. We were just worried that they would pick up the blood trail and by the morning, Alistair would be no more.
I was worried I'd left a blood trail when I walked out. And I was worried something had picked that up and come following it. I was worried about the lion and hyena. There's a lot of them around the area. I heard grazing, and I looked up. And I saw the buffalo. I was looking right at it, it looked at me. If you get into their danger zone, or they're wounded or sick, buffaloes is really pretty dangerous. Kill a lot of people every year. For some reason it came and lay down 10 yards away. I just can't believe it happened. It's just so totally abnormal behavior. Normally they'd never do anything like that if there was a human being around. That thing lying there was just amazing. It was just like a little sentry lying there, big sentry.
The darkness all around us just seemed to make you realize just how vulnerable you were in that great vastness. You were a nothing, and things were just out of your control.
It passed everybody's mind that there's a good chance that we may not make it till the morning, especially in Faye's case. She was worried that she may never ever see her kids again.
At the time, I daredn't even think, and when I did, I just went cold. It was just such a terrible experience.
What's that?
It was like a slapping sound. Arthur said that is a crocodile slapping its tail, and it's not far from here.
You could distinctly see it was a crocodile.
We could see the jagged edge of his tail as he came closer and closer.
Suddenly everything is awake. Your ears, your eyes.
A big panic.
Wait, not yet.
When something is coming directly to you, you fear the worst.
Wait, not yet.
As we hit the water with the paddle, it veered off into the mainstream.
We were on tenterhooks after that, looking around in case another crocodile did come by.
The pain had set in during the night. If I moved a little bit, it got pretty serious. If I stayed in one position, I was fine.
Alistair knows the worst thing he could do now is fall asleep. If he does, he could slip into unconsciousness, and with wounds this serious, his body could shut down and he could be dead by morning. But he's lost a lot of blood. He can't keep himself awake. On the river, everyone is suffering.
Standing for such a long period of time, we did get really tired. Our backs were aching. We were freezing cold.
The water's warm. I want to sit down a while.
Arthur wanted to sit down.
It was warmer in the water than it was out the water. The water was actually warmer.
I said to him, you can't sit down because you're going to get wet and then you're going to get cold and then hypothermia. I said, we've just got to get through this. We've got 2 children to think about and they need us. When the daylight finally came, it was just such a sense of relief because we had made it through the night. But we had worried that Alistair had bled to death. I mean, we had no idea what had happened to him and how badly injured he was. That was such a terrible feeling because you always think of the worst.
Alistair!
And physically and mentally, we were just exhausted.
After almost 20 hours stranded in the water, the group are desperate.
We were thinking, well, you know, it's another day and somebody has got to come past.
What's that? There. There. There.
We saw some white dots on the horizon.
They're coming this way.
It looked like a white boat and we were just thrilled.
Over here! Over here! Help! Hey! This way! Over here!
Turned out there were cattle egrets flying towards us. And our hopes were shattered.
It was devastating.
Damn it!
As the birds flew off. Just felt so helpless, completely helpless.
On the sandbank, the group are becoming desperate. Clive, Brenda, Faye and Arthur have now been stranded in the middle of the Zambezi River for almost 20 hours. It's over 12 hours since they last heard from Alistair. They have no idea if he's still alive.
There was this pain, just like needles all over the place. especially on my arm. I didn't realize what it was at first until I managed to sit up. And I realized there were ants biting me. These safari ants.
Safari ants are one of the most vicious insects in the world. They've been drawn to Alistair by the scent of his blood. But their bites trigger a surge of adrenaline through his body, snapping him out of unconsciousness and probably saving his life. Alistair forces himself to move on.
It was tough going. I couldn't stand up. I had to sort of bent over, using my left arm on my knee to try and keep support.
Alistair realizes he's the only one who can find help for the others. But it's now 24 hours since the crocodile attack. He's lost a lot of blood. He's weak and disorientated.
I heard a boat, and I was far from the river. I thought I'd never get down to the river in time.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
There must have been an aeroplane or something, because it definitely wasn't a boat.
Despite the threat of crocodiles, Alistair loses consciousness. On the sandbank, the others are beginning to lose hope. It turns out that Alistair did hear a boat.
I thought, surely they're going to come across. I tried to shout, couldn't get it out. They started to move off.
On the river, his friends can do nothing but await their fate.
Canoes.
Amanda, just dance.
I can see them there. There.
Incredibly, some canoeists have ventured this far down the river.
They'd seen us and they thought, well, what strange people fishing in the middle of the river. I can't tell you how that felt, really. I mean, it was just a sense of relief. We were going to be all right. It was also still worry for Alistair. We hadn't heard from Alistair for several hours.
Eventually, the couple across the river spotted Alistair. They took him to safety, where he was reunited with the others. Despite his terrible injuries, surgeons were able to save Alistair's arm. He and Arthur still take regular fishing trips together on that same stretch of the Zambezi. Clive and Brenda still visit Africa regularly.
Mr. and Mrs. Carey won't go fishing with us anymore, but
Faye spends most of her weekends in the bush, but she rarely goes out on the river.
I always feel anxious when I get in a boat, even now, after all these years. It's just such a terrible experience. But we all survived, all 5 of us.